So the first thing we're going to do in general is I'm going to touch, we're going to have three use cases we just talked about. Then we're going to work on those use cases together. Let me see. So let me, I'm going to share everything. Let's say one, two, three. Let's say, let's start with first one. Second one. And I'll probably share it in our group so that we're going to work on use case two, then you use case three. I'll show you guys use case one first. Okay, so let me tell you the first. Okay, I love this actually. Love it. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, let me tell you what I've seen happen. It's a good one. So sometimes your leadership could give you a policy, right? They will tell you, look at this policy and review to tell us if there is any gaps or potential area they can improve. I think that's a common thing. So they will give you a set of policies. Okay, let me ask you. Let's forget cyber for 1 second. If I come to you and I ask you, um, for the last 20 years, we've had policy we've been using. Every year we review it, right, to say it's fine. Okay, good. However, the last 3 years has, tell me, let me ask you, tell me some two changes you've noticed the last 2 years or 3 years in general. Let's just open the floor. In professional world, what are some three changes you've seen out there that you can tell me? I love it, baby. Remote work, big one. AI, big one. So work from home, remote. I love it. You guys are thinking. Don't let's go into DEI. Okay, data security. Okay, I like that. Remote work. Okay, so telework. I love it. So we can agree on three: telework, data security, AI. We have let's another one here. Okay, remote work is a big one. Telework is a big one. Hybrid, multi-factor authentication. Okay, so we can agree. Okay, data is the new oil. Okay, fine. We can agree one thing for sure. A lot of things have changed. Outsourcing is becoming big. Yes. Okay, those are big things we cannot run from. So, is it fair to say, whatever your comprehensive policies are, we need to consider a revision of our policies to also reflect these new norms? Let's take it again. Whatever your story is, right? The last 2 years has changed. We can't pretend. Somebody said global integrated delivery. Okay, so at the end of the day, let me even assume I'm not a global player. I'm just a small, mid-size U.S. North American focus for a second, right? One thing we cannot run from: AI is here to stay. Remote work or work from home is here to stay. Um, Potentially working with third party is here to stay, and to make sure that they implement and comply with best practice that we believe in because we are liable is here to stay. So in my mind, I'm already thinking then even remote support is here to stay because if you have issues, somebody needs to log into your system to support it, they'll probably log in remotely, right? So we know all of those are big risk, right? At the end of the day. So in my mind, I think it's fair to say all of this risk you all have identified, we need to reflect it on our policy though, because things have changed. So we can't keep the whole policy the way it is for sure. We got to make some changes though. So that's the reality right now. And every organization is going through that phase right now. Everybody's implementing AI. They use something called RAG right now, implementing their own version of AI so that if you, they might be using Llama or ChatGPT as the back end, sort of, right? But it's not going to be feeding outside of their organization. Their network would kind of shield it. So the back end, anything that happens is happening within their own rack space, you know? Okay, somebody said, yeah, virtual assistant can be a reality for mid-size, small. You're right, actually. Even big companies now are using VAs or, you know, so that's a big threat too. But we can lump that on that your third party because your VAs will probably be third parties you're partnering with at some point, right? So the gist of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that we would have a need to revamp our policies right now. There's no option. Some of you have not done it, but you have to now. And that's the phase a lot of companies are going through right now. They are having to revamp all their policy because this new threat has shown up. And we got to just make updates on our policy, you know? So that's the segue to our first use case. We'll look at it together. Please, every use case we build, do me a favor, make sure, be very intentional and take a look at them. Let's look at the first one. And we have access to it anyway. You'll see the one that says use case number one. But let's talk about this real quick. Let me show you guys. Skillweed Global Health has recently deployed MRI, CT scan, and X-ray machines to their network, which handle sensitive patient data. That's the key word, right? So we know that's a big deal, however you spin it. To ensure the security of this system, a cybersecurity policy and procedure must be established. What's the objective? To develop a data protection policy and associated procedures for securing medical devices. So, ladies and gentlemen, our use case is pretty clear. MRI machine is being deployed, CT scan machine, they capture images, X-ray machine, they capture images also. I want to make sure the safety of patient data on this network is secured. What is our key steps in general? One, we need to understand and identify the assets and the risk, you know? So in our case, we need to understand the inventory of what is the MRI we're talking about, the CT scan, the X-ray machine. We know that it's connected to the network. It handles sensitive information. And why is this sensitive? Because number one, under HIPAA regulation, is considered sensitive. Any PHI, personal health information. So we know it's sensitive. This is serious stuff, right? And these guys can come after us anytime. It's a big deal. Okay. So in our case, we need to draft a data protection policy. What are the key elements we need to include? Access control. This is code word for saying how do people gain access into the system. Data encryption. It's a no-brainer. Whatever information is getting into this MRI machine, CT scan machine, is it encrypted or not? Now you might say, wait a minute, don't forget, if a patient has X-ray, CT scan, MRI, you have to put all their PHI, their name, their date of birth, their medical history. Then the images would also be stored in it. So now, if it is compromised, it's as good as your EMR being compromised. Because many times it is feeding information from their EMR. EMR is electronic medical record. So you can imagine if you've saved all those information into your new device and that is compromised, then we are in trouble anyway because everything from our EMR that is being fed into the system is going to be just be compromised. It's a big deal. Then the third one is monitoring. How do we actually monitor the logins of these devices to make sure it's not compromised? Let's pause. Don't overthink this. All I'm saying is I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm in the healthcare practice, I'm a patient. If I go to the clinic, you do my x-ray, you do my CT scan, routine checkup. How do I ensure my data is not compromised? Why? You're asking me for name, date of birth, medical history, all of those are there. How do I ensure it's not compromised? That's all I'm asking. at the end of the day. So the other thing is develop procedure for device usage. You know, what's the objective? Outline the steps the staff need to follow to ensure protection of my data. So you can see procedure as always, they are step by step, right? You can see here it's giving me the step by step. Then at the end of the day, also we communicate and train our staff. Okay. At the end of the day. So what's the outcome? At the end of the day, we would have a data protection policy and procedure. So what I need you all to do is this is the segue. I need you to use this information to uniquely build your cybersecurity policy and procedure